Well, there's understandable confusion in the community over the sentence given to the killer of Thomas Kelly at King's Cross, this Kieran Loveridge, who'll go to jail for just over 4 years, having pleaded guilty to manslaughter. And a lot of people saying, how can 4 years equate with the killing of someone in such a way? Now, we know what the backstory of this, of course, is that he was charged with manslaughter. Manslaughter can carry many more years than the 4 years, but the court has made its decision. The family is understandably up in arms, the community is up in arms. There is a debate over this, and there'll no doubt be a debate ongoing for many days. But it's worth listening to the words of the family, and by now you'd have heard them many, many times, expressing their disappointment, their profound anger at what's happened, but also in what they've done in calling on the government to act. They've talked about the justice system and the legal system, because we can focus on that, but that really is not where this problem should really be attacked, because ultimately, if you fix the justice system so that it's 10 years or 15 years or 20 years for an offence like this, that in itself is not going to stop the offence happening, because if someone gets themselves completely plastered, completely hammered, they're not going to sit there and think to themselves, well, I'm going to go to jail for 4 times as long if I end up hitting someone and they die. It's just, logic tells you that that in itself is not going to address the problem. It will remove these people from the streets for a lot longer, but it's this question of young people and binge drinking, the easy availability of alcohol, the fact that it's almost become a rite of passage for young people to drink to excess, that you walk around the streets at night and you see people who look menacing, who look like they are completely out of control, who've drunk too much, and it makes the streets a dangerous place. And how do you address that? Well, a starting point has got to be limiting or removing the availability of alcohol beyond a certain time. You look at New York, and people keep telling us about the safety of the streets in New York. In New York, legal drinking age is 21. You just don't have the same extensive trading hours in a city like New York as you do in Sydney. That's what we ought to be focusing on. We ought to be having a serious debate about the legal drinking age, and I keep making this point when people say, oh, how can you stop kids drinking till they're 21? Of course you wouldn't. At the moment they're starting at 14 or 15. A cultural shift to get people drinking later and drinking more responsibly surely has to be part of any answer to what happened to young Thomas Kelly. And for his parents, we can talk all we like about the penalties for the people who do this, but ultimately a far more lasting legacy would be an honest tackling of the drinking problem, which is at the heart of what happened to that boy.